Hello everyone! Welcome back to another episode of what I guess I'm going to be calling Between the Sessions. I haven't really clarified what I'm going to be calling these potential podcast sessions here. We're going to chat with my friends as we play Pathfinder 2nd Edition and all the other campaigns we might be starting up with different game systems. But in any event, today I have with us Scott, who has been playing Schmebulok, the Gnome Wizard, and unfortunately, Scott here has decided to switch characters as we begin to transition from the beginner's box into the Abominations Vault. Excuse me. Last episode, and when I was talking with Eric, I was horribly jumbling my words up and had the horrible incident of calling one of the orc abilities what was it? Scar to death. I go, man, I am really just not doing really well with these words right now. It was quite funny. But anyways, Scott, care to tell us about why you're switching from the wizard into the new character here?
I'm switching because it just doesn't seem to. I've seen wizards being played before quite a bit. I have not seen the psionic been played in a campaign before, so I'm interested to try that. I had a little taste of the wizard life, and it seems to be pretty cool. But I think that RPing as a psionic would be a pretty neat thing.
Nice. And what are you hoping to accomplish with this psionic character?
I don't know if I have any specific goals, other than just to try to flesh out the sort of the difference of magic casting and where it's a lot of cantrip based stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh, interesting. So I just imported your character because luckily for anyone listening to this, Scott also is GMing Pathfinder as well for the first time. And he has his own server for Foundry and sent me his character that he created over on his server. So we're going to skip a lot of the character creation processes here, but we're going to review it and see what we have. And I just noticed that you picked the Kobold as the ancestry. There's going to be some happy people knowing that you're playing a kobold, Scott.
Yeah, little lizard dragon man.
Yeah. And let's see here. We have a dragon scald kobold. Or dragon, here we go. Dragon scaled, excuse me. Scald. What am I thinking? Dragon scaled kobold. Nice. And background is a detective, and the class is psychic. Very cool. Excellent. Hair Doctor. So right now, as it stands, we are 3 out of 4, and Hair Doctor over on our Discord servers and the moderator for the live streams is really excited because he was hoping that we might have a full monster crew, and so far we have 3 out of 4. Now I got to talk to my cousin Mike and see if he's going to be switching his character of blank over to something new, and if he goes with a monster as well, quote unquote monster class or ancestry, so to say.
Yeah, because I think I remember picked up that Minotaur rule set.
Yes.
Pathfinder as well.
Yeah, that one was, I thought, yeah, that was Eric, and he was looking at potentially being a Minotaur, but yeah, we'll see. That's always going to be something up on the table as well.
Can you give me access to my character sheet?
Yes, I can.
With you.
Yes, I can. I totally forgot about that one because you created it.
Yeah.
All right, you should have it. All right, so you got your character sheet up?
I do not see it now.
All right, let me double check the owner. No, it says you're the owner. Save changes. Try refreshing. Reload the application and see if that does anything.
Loading. Yep, there it is.
All right, cool. All right, so let's take a look at your ability scores now that we've already kind of gone through the initial. I've looked over your heritages and all that, which is neat. Apsu, huh? The god Apsu?
Yeah, because I picked the brass dragon thing for my ancestry feat, so he's the god of good metallic dragons, so I think that fits.
Nice, definitely. Okay, so we have Dark Vision, which is great, Humanoid and Kobold, and Common and Draconic. Intelligence here. So actually, while we're at this, let me pull up the ancestry information for a kobold real quick. Because you actually have a high intelligence score, so I want to make sure you have all your languages. So...
Oh, I definitely don't have that filled out, no.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get those then. So you got your Common and Draconic, and then you have additional languages equal to your intelligence modifier. You choose from Aklo, Dwarven, Gnomish, Infernal, Terran, Undercommon, and any other language to which you have access, which I don't care. Pick whatever you want.
Whatever I want?
Yes. I don't have hardly ever have any restrictions on my campaigns. Even with the big controversy about flying characters in 5e, I'm like, man, if you don't know how to handle a flying character, you need to start watching some videos or reading some Reddit forums or something. It's not that hard. I mean, especially like with our Sunday crew there, with you, Sal, and Justin. Justin playing an Aarakocra wasn't that big of a deal. All right, so we have Dwarven. So we've got 3 more languages to pick from. Undercommon, excellent. 2 more.
Oops. I do like how I can just type stuff in. Put some Goblin in there.
Okay. 1 more.
1 more. Decisions.
Oh, I know. Especially with how many ancestries Pathfinder has. God, there must be way too many languages to potentially choose from.
Yeah, it's funny. 2 of the guys in my campaign picked demonic just so they could talk to each other and then in their own little language. I like how Russian's here.
That's funny. Russian's in there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
Like, I just don't know how often some of these things are going to come up. Shadow Tongue. It sounds cool.
Very cool. Like I told Eric with my last podcast episode, which we were just talking moments ago, if there's something you don't feel that is working out to the way you like it and you want to change it, we'll just change it. I don't care. So, if Shadow Tongue isn't coming up enough for you and you're like, you know what, this campaign has a lot of X ancestry coming up and a lot of this language, I want to officially change it, then we can change it. But I don't want to change it because it's leading to a kind of a metagaming of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the moment, we'll say Shadow Tongue is perfectly fine, and you'll get like 1, what's the word I'm looking for? Shoot, what do they call that term in like golf or something?
Mulligan?
Yes, thank you. We'll give you like 1 mulligan on each of the languages if it doesn't seem to be suiting your needs besides the core languages. All right, so for the ability scores, let's take a look at that sheet. So kobolds have a flaw of constitution, it shows. Now, you could get rid of that if you wanted to, but you would lose the 3. So are you okay with the constitution flaw, or would you like to keep it as it is? Because what would happen is you're getting 3 ability boosts right now for being a kobold because you have a flaw, but that's a legacy feature. If you wanted to get rid of the constitution flaw, you would lose one of your 3 choices for being a kobold.
Gotcha. So the question is, do I want to ditch my charisma for some more hit points?
Yes. I mean,
I think I'm fine with the way it is.
Okay. I was going to say, because as I see, you've picked 2 boosts in charisma as it is to kind of bounce back from that flaw, a little bit of being a tiny little kobold. Okay, so we will leave that there. And then you get, for being a detective, you picked intelligence and constitution, which is cool. And for the psychic, you picked intelligence. And then I see for your freebie level 1s, you went Dex, Con, Intelligence, and Wisdom. Okay, looks good. All right, so that's all taken care of. And then, let's see here, for your, what would be next? The background? Oh, was there anything else here? Oh, what was your, dragon scaled. Let's take a look at that real quick. A trace of draconic magic flows through your veins. Choose one cantrip from the arcane spell list. You can cast this spell as an arcane innate spell at will. A cantrip is heightened to a spell level equal to half of your level, rounded up. You gain the trained proficiency rank in arcane spell attack rolls and spell DCs, and your key spellcasting ability is charisma. All right, so that's cool. Let's see here. Where is that showing up?
I definitely do not have all my
spells
set up.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some of them picked out.
Okay, so the spells. Oh wait, dragon scale. Never mind. Oh no, I think I just looked at the wrong. I looked at the spell scale. Kobold. My bad. Dragon scaled. Here we go. All right. You are especially colorful, possessing one of the same resistances as a dragon possesses. You gain resistance equal to half your level, minimum 1, to the damage type associated with your draconic exemplar. Double the resistance against dragon's breath weapons. All right, so that's coming from the dragon scaled. All right, that makes more sense. Now that should be. Oh,
I'm just going to take Detect Magic as my arcane cantrip.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to have you also down level to level 1, because you and Eric are both starting at level 1, and the Abominations Vaults is a level 1 to 11 campaign. So starting you off at level 1 isn't going to hurt your character at all. It'll actually keep you right where you're supposed to be.
Gotcha. I just need to make sure I don't have too many feats or something.
Yes. Should have backtracked a couple feats for you, which is good. Okay, there's your ancestry feature, Draconic Exemplar. Let me see something here. Ancestry feats, Draconic Skill. Okay, there you draw minor powers from your Draconic Exemplar. Choose a type of chromatic or metallic dragon to be your exemplar. This determines your scale color and appearance, and dragons sometimes look more favorable upon those kobolds who resemble them. Alright, so that's the whole brass being a part of the brass dragon, and then having Apsu there. Okay. Now, where does the fire resistance come from? Is that
the brass dragon?
All right, so that's from being brass? All right.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure what colors were doing what damage types.
Yeah, and when I eventually get a dragon breath, it'll be a fire and a lion.
Okay, cool. All right, neat. All right, so that takes care of that. Let's take a look at your background real quick, just to make sure everything's squared away with being a detective. What made you choose detective?
I thought it'd be cool with the psychic, probe people's minds, get the answers to the questions I want.
Yeah, that would definitely be a faster way of getting answers. All right, so let's see here. You solved crimes as a police inspector or took jobs for wealthy clients as a private investigator. What seems to be more of your detective line? Were you like a PI, or were you more of a detective or something?
I'd say PI. I imagine I'd be helping with bounty hunters, getting information for them. Maybe not necessarily doing the dirty work, but
all right,
information getter.
What we know of Otari so far, and how there's a kobold incursion going on underneath there with what's happening. Do you believe your kobold lived in Otari, or have they come venturing into Otari?
I would imagine venturing in from somewhere else.
Okay. I was really starting to piece together like this interesting work where you may have been working with blank, the sheriff. So maybe he hired you. That'd be an interesting way of like making like connections with the current group. But that's up to you guys if you wanted to go that route, or if you're just kind of coming in here because of whatever reason. All right, so we got that. You choose 2 ability boosts, which you've already done. 1 must be intelligence or wisdom, and 1 is free, which you've already done. You're trained in society skill, so let's take a look at your proficiencies. All right, and society, where are you? There you go. You have your trained, and the underworld lore. Okay, so we have to add in your lore skill there.
I can do that. What was it, underworld?
Yes. And you are trained in that as well. So go ahead. Yep,
Oh.
perfect. Got it. And you gain the Streetwise skill feat. So let's take a look at that. So you should say Streetwise. Perfect. There it is. And just so I know, because I have no idea what Streetwise does, you know about life on the streets and feel a pulse of your local settlement. You can use your society modifier instead of your diplomacy modifier to gather information. In any settlement you frequently regularly, you can use the recall knowledge action with society to know the same sorts of information that you could discover with diplomacy to gather information. Cool. The DC is usually significantly higher, but you know the information without spending time gathering it. If you fail to recall the information, you can still subsequently attempt to gather information normally. Well, that's handy. That should come in pretty good there as we get to know more of the people of Otari as well. Let's see here. I see you have a bonus feat of Recognize Spell. That probably came from your class, right?
Yes.
Right. Let's swap over to the classes and take a look at Psychic and how that's going to turn out. All right. So the question is, I see here you have two options to choose from for a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. What did you pick for those?
For the conscious mind, I picked Distant Grasp, which is based around telekinetic stuff.
Okay.
So pushing, pulling objects.
Right. And then for the subconscious mind?
I picked Precise Discipline, which gives me the psychic ability Calculate Threats, which is shield, basically.
Oh, okay.
So I can do a raise shield action for one, basically, action that's me just probing people's minds to figure out who might be attacking me next.
Okay. All right, so let's see here. For Perception, you are trained, which you've already got. I'm sure the game already took care of all that. Here's the funny thing, now that I'm looking at saving throws next. Barbarian is trained, or is expert in Fortitude and Will, but trained in Reflexes. I found that really, really interesting, that they weren't experts in Reflex, but only trained in Will saves. I don't know why. But you have expert in Will, which makes a lot of sense, and trained in Fortitude and Reflexes, which is good. Your skills. All right, let's take a quick... Go ahead.
I do think that I have an extra one there. That Recognize skill, I think, is because I thought I was going to start at second level. So just let me double check that one.
Okay. Well, that says level 1, so there's a bonus feat for some reason going there. But we'll get to that in a minute. Ancestry feat, your Kobold breath. Okay. All right. So you get trained in occultism for your skills, which you have. And then you are also trained in a number of additional skills equal to 3 plus your intelligence modifier. So you should have 7 extra skills on top of occultism, and I think that was it, right?
Is that it?
Yeah, I'm seeing 1 extra.
One extra. Yeah, you're right. What do I want to get rid of here? Get rid of Thievery. I'm sure someone else is going to be picking pockets.
Probably. All right, we got those. And then defenses, you are untrained in all armors. But you are trained in unarmored, which is good. Okay, that's taken care of. Spells. Trained in occult spells, attacks, and DCs, which I'm sure is already taken care of in your spell casting there. Oh, and weapons. Trained in simple weapons and in unarmed attacks. Okay. Excellent, so that's taken care of. All right, that's cool. Now, how does it work with spells? Because I haven't gotten quite there yet, reading up on the Psychic for spell casting.
So, as far as I can tell, it works with, its focus. My focus is cantrips that I can buff up. So, like, I have one move where I can push somebody 5 feet, and then I can do 2 actions to make it do damage, or 3 actions to be like an AoE around me. And those run off focus points, I think. So I can spend focus points to do it.
Oh, yeah. The telekinetic rend, I see you have potentially up to 2 focus pool for that one, for your spell focus. Okay.
Yep, and when I do my 10-minute recharge, I get 2 focus points back.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So I still got a few cantrips to take.
Yeah, how many cantrips are you allowed?
So I get 3 from my class, and I get an additional 2 from Distant Grasp.
Okay. Let's see here.
So I should have 5 total.
Yeah, let's see. Distant Grasp motion characterizes the special. A boulder falls, creature moves, the world turns. You believe the truest form of mind over matter is therefore to move things as well, wielding telekinesis as an arm that can grasp the furthest and finest of objects. Okay, where precisely is the Distant Grasp coming up on my side resource here? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Granted spells. So you get kinetic ram, telekinetic maneuvers at 2, 3, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Standard psi cantrips, mage hand and telekinetic projectile. Okay. Unique psi cantrips, surface for the telekinetic rend, vector screen, and dancing blade. Now those...
I get Detect Magic as an occult spell, so I might switch that for my arcane.
Okay. Let's see here. Your mage. Yeah. Your mage hand can carry up to 1 bulk instead of only light bulk. If the spell is heightened to 3rd level or higher, its maximum bulk is 2. If the spell is heightened to 7th level or higher, its maximum bulk is 3. It also gains the following amp. Alright, we'll take a look at the amp later on. I'll read that off air. And then telekinetic projectile. Your projectile can fly much further away. Increase the range of telekinetic projectile to 60 feet. It also gains the following amp. You fling objects with more force, driving your opponents backwards in a hail of objects. On a success, you push the character 5 feet away from you. And on a critical success, you push them 10 feet. And dealing double damage. Cool. Alright. Yeah, I'll read through the rest of the stuff a little later on about now that I know what your conscious and subconscious minds are.
Yeah, I think I need to give myself focus points here. Figure out how to use them. Yeah, it gives me the 2 there. That's pretty neat automatically.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you opened up another thing for occult focus spells here when you have the one for telekinetic rend. Oh, weird. All right, let's get rid of...
Oh, that was my bad. Yeah, I already had it set up.
Yeah, okay. And the electric arc, where does that one come from?
That comes from my free arcane innate spell from Koboldism. Wasn't that something?
Maybe.
So look it up. Maybe I don't.
Maybe it's something that happened at level 2, possibly?
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Okay. Alright, that's gone for now. And then the 3 Detect Magic, Prestidigitation, and Daze were from all the extra cantrips you possibly get?
Yeah, so the Mage Hand and the telekinetic slingshot thing is from the Distant Grasp, and then I pick Prestidigitation, Daze, and Detect Magic.
Gotcha. Yeah, alright, so you get 3 plus your Conscious Mind gives you the additional 3 cantrips. Okay. So it looks like potentially you might need 6 cantrips, actually. Because I'm seeing the psychic spells per day, you have 3 base. And then your Conscious Mind gives you 3 additional cantrips with amps.
which is and one of them is telekinetic rend is a cantrip.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the sixth.
Hmm. All right, I'll read through this later on just to make sure I have a better understanding of your class before we get into the abomination vaults as well. All right, cool. All right, so it looks like everything's good there. Now, is the psychic a spontaneous caster or a prepared caster?
I believe it's prepared.
Prepared. Okay, so do you have a spell book? I think.
It's in my brain.
Yes, well, not necessarily an actual book. I meant like somewhere where you're pulling prepared and unprepared spells for the day. You know what I mean? Like with the wizard on Shmebulok here. I'm gonna grab Shmebulok's character sheet. If I go to spellcasting, where? Oh, I see. Okay. If you go to look at Shmebulok real quick.
Yeah.
If you look at the arcane prepared spells, you see that little tab that says spell preparations.
Yeah.
You click that open. That's your spell book, technically. I was wondering if Psychic had that as well. But it looks like...
Doesn't seem so.
Yeah, it looks like... I guess you're more... I don't know. I'm going to have to read into it because I don't know the Psychic at all. So I will read through this and get a better understanding. But... Alright, so each day you can cast one first level spell. You must know spells to cast them, and you learn them via the spell repertoire class feature. The number of spells you can cast each day is called your spell slots. Spell repertoire. The collection of spells you can cast is called your spell repertoire. First level, you learn one first level occult spell of your choice and 3 occult cantrips of your choice. You choose these from the common spells from the occult list or from the occult spells to which you have access. You can cast any of your spells repertoire by using a spell slot appropriate spell levels. Yeah. To add to the spell repertoire as you increase in level, each time you get a spell slot, see table 2, you add a spell to your spell repertoire of the same level. At second level, you select another first level spell. At third level, you select one second level spell, and so on. Okay, so it looks like this is kind of similar to 5e in a sense, where
Yeah, it seems like when I learn a spell, it's sort of glued in there, and then every time I level up, I can swap something out, but
yeah, it's kind of go ahead.
Fixed. Yeah, it's like fixed.
Yeah, very sorcerer-like when it comes to the spells. Okay. Even the old days of like playing a ranger and paladin, you were like stuck with the spells that you picked. Okay. Curious. All right, so that pretty much answers the question there. So I'm guessing we are good for the time being with that. And was there anything else to cover?
I think I need to get rid of that recognized spell. I'm going to delete that until you...
Yeah, I don't know where that... Let's take a look at that.
I think it was a level 2 thing. Pretty sure I picked it up as a general level 2 thing.
Okay. Yeah, because now I'm seeing that it's completely empty, which means...
I removed it.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, that's fine. I was just... Normally, if something required your attention, they would leave a blank slot open for you.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, let's take a look at what kind of gear did you pick up?
I picked up no gear. That's not something I've filled out. I'm assuming we get the same 15 gold to start with?
Yep, 15 gold.
All right, I'm going to buy the same nonsense I like to usually buy with marbles and caltrops and the hilarious stuff.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that you can just search it from your inventory and buy it that way.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, so in your inventory, if you hit the little magnifying glass and you search for something,
oh, yeah,
you can actually buy it and it'll subtract it from your actual money.
Oh, that's good. That's a good way to do it. Nice. Let me see something here. I want to see if I can transfer the same actions over or not. Oh, what do you know? I can. Awesome. All right. So I'm just going to drag everything over to fill out your actions that you can do. You have a free action for Unleash Psyche. Did you look into that at all?
Yeah.
What's that do?
It basically lets me overcharge my psychic skills at the cost of befuddling my mind for a little while.
Oh, interesting.
Let's see. Yeah, so it's in an encounter, it's on my turn, and for 2 turns, my psyche remains unleashed for 2 turns. Um, when you cast a damaging spell, you gain status bonus to its damage equal to double the spell's level. Yeah.
Hmm.
It seems like it's going to be more important as I get more stuff. Right now, it may not be such a big part of it.
Right. Okay. Well, while you're going through this and picking out all your equipment and whatnot, what are you thinking so far of the Pathfinder beginner's box and whatnot?
I'm enjoying it. I think I'm looking forward to this longer sort of set of quests and story.
Yeah.
And I like how fast we go through it compared to playing at the table. There's a lot less questions people are asking when they can just click on the buttons in their character sheet, and I find my group is learning quite quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely is something I like as well. With how well designed this virtual tabletop is for Pathfinder, there's so many things I wish the 5e version had, which they don't, unfortunately. But man, did they put a lot of effort into making this a really great environment to play Pathfinder 2nd edition. And the people that Paizo has for making the recreating their games in this environment, ooh, chef's kiss, man. Just like you sent and shared that image of the Reddit post or whatever it was, of how just well thought out these games are in this environment. It's like, man, this is really making this a much more enjoyable experience, to say the least. So one thing,
Buying things.
Yep. One thing I wanted to ask, since you have these the special experience here of being a GM, but also being a player, what do you think so far of being able to play both roles in Pathfinder 2nd Edition?
I think it definitely helps seeing you go through things for when I do my game, as far as how to set things up. But the macros are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Being able to click on something and then it does the audio cue and remove stuff and opens up people's vision, and definitely makes it a little more immersive.
Yeah. I finally got a chance to look at those couple macros for the beginner's box there, for the like the barricades, or as we like to call them, the barrelcades. And even though it's just a whole bunch of like JavaScript gibberish to some people, I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I totally see what's going on here. So, like, right in the beginning, it's just calling a whole bunch of constants of, like, the playlist, the quiet sounds, the loud sounds, and then a sleep feature of how long they want something to sleep for, and then finding the IDs for, like, the maps, if you're using the old maps or the enhanced maps. I go, man, this is really well done. But the first thing that really confounded me, especially looking at the IDs of, like, where did they get the IDs for the maps at first? If you look at your character sheet, right, the very top, where at the top left where it shows your name for Psy, you see that little book icon? If you click,
Compendium thing?
Yeah, well, like for your character sheet here.
Yeah, the actor thing.
Yep, the very top left where it says PSY for Psy.
Yep.
And there's that little book icon, right?
Yep.
Yeah, if you hover over that, that gives you your character sheet's unique ID. And you can click that and it'll copy it, and then you can put that into macros and whatnot. I go, oh, that's where it is. So like when they're referencing the maps, they will, they'll pull up the map. Let's see here. They'll go to the scene section, pull up the map itself, and then they should be able to get the ID somewhere around there. Like, I think if they go into the configuration, if they go into configuration, they can grab the map ID from that little book section. So, man, even the macros are just really well thought out. Like when we got into the Cinder Rat fight for the beginner's box and clicked all that stuff and it, broke the glass and then brought out the rat and then made the sound files go, I go, geez, this is really awesome. A halfling sling staff.
Is that cool with you?
Sure. I mean, it's a level 0 weapon. The staff ends in a Y shape, split with cradles and a sling.
Get rid of the crossbow, actually.
So what does this work as? Both a... Well, this is a martial weapon.
Oh, it's martial.
Yeah.
Crossbow it is. Yeah, in my group, I just started implementing the crossbow reload thing, so people are changing up their gameplay now.
Oh, no, they didn't do the action to reload?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's like one of the biggest things that people hate, I think, about Pathfinders. Like, everyone is in agreement that crossbows and Pathfinder suck because there's no way around the reload problem in most cases. I think the only way around it is to be a gunslinger, pretty much.
Okay.
Well, I'm seeing it's not taking the gold away, unfortunately, as you're buying the stuff.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is just get rid of all the gold I have. I'm just
Yep.
going to delete the gold, and then it's going to tell me how much my stuff's worth. And then I can just do the math that way.
Perfect. Oh, yeah, from the total wealth up there?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, cool. So you got clothing, good, so your character's not naked. And then marbles, bedroll, compass, crowbar, flint and steel, 10-foot pole. I can see so many jokes with a 10-foot pole.
I don't need to do it twice. I can.
Pup tent, huh? Is this like a personal tent?
Yeah, pup tent's a small one-person tent.
Okay, cool. Healer's
Torches. Are we doing food? Rations.
Yes. Don't forget to buy a backpack as well. You need a container to put it all in.
Isn't there like an adventurer's bag or something?
Yeah, there should be a kit that gives you a bunch of stuff like a bedroll, torches, and rations and whatnot. I'm not entirely sure. Oh yeah, all right. So you have the backpack down there. I see now. Let's see here. The ancestry feats.
Questions?
For me or do you have them?
No, I'm just wondering if you have them.
Oh, no. I was curious to see what other ancestry feats you could pick for Kobold, so I was starting to look those up. I see you have the cringe. You didn't want to go with cringe?
No.
Pitiful posturing. That's really funny. Draconic sycophant, dragon's presence, kobold breath, kobold lore, kobold weapon familiarity, scamper, slither, and snare tether, or snare setter, excuse me. Trained in crafting for that one. Interesting. Oh, that's funny. You have 1d4 rounds you can use your kobold breath. So you're going to be looking to get feats to increase your kobold breath as you level?
I think so, yeah. Because I guess kobolds can get a bunch of extra cantrip stuff as they level up.
Oh, can they? I have no idea.
So yeah, I was hoping there would be some synergy there as I leveled up.
Cool. It should be pretty interesting. Let's see here. Oh, I keep going to the wrong items.
I'm surprised Unleash Psyche doesn't say more.
Where's that?
The
Oh.
ability there is like, yeah, there's just a bunch of extra stuff that it doesn't say.
Mm-hmm. When one thins the barrier between their inner mind and the outer world, one can unleash the true psychic power. However, the mind wasn't meant to tap into its full strength for long, leading to backlash once your unleashed psi ends. Curious. And what is that part of is that a skill or an action?
I think it's a skill. Maybe it's just it says trigger, so is that a reaction?
Maybe. Let me take a look here. Go back.
It has the hollow sort of symbol.
Oh, the blank.
Yeah.
Blank one? That might be a free action then. I don't know.
Yeah, it's free action.
Okay.
Oh, and under free action it has all the text, the textual stuff.
Oh, okay. Trigger, your turn begins. Okay, cool. Requirements, you're in an encounter, you cast a spell on your previous turn, and you aren't stupefied. What? Had to throw in the, what was that, disturbed.
I guess everyone sees that I'm doing this with the surrounded by visual manifestation of my psychic magic.
Oh. Alright, so you call in the depths of your mind and let psychic power flood through. Your psyche remains unleashed for 2 rounds or until you fall unconscious, whichever comes first. You can't voluntarily quell your unleashed psyche. While your psyche is unleashed, the following effects occur. You're constantly surrounded by the visual manifestations of your psychic magic. When you cast a damaging spell, you gain a status bonus to its damage equal to double the spell's level. This applies only to spells that don't have a duration and that you cast using psychic spellcasting. And you can use actions that have the psychic trait. After your unleashed psyche subsides, your mind must recover from the strain of channeling its full power. You can't unleash your psyche again for 2 rounds, and you're stupefied 1 for 2 rounds. So what does stupefied do? Your thoughts and instincts are clouded. Stupefied always includes a value. You take a status penalty equal to this value on intelligence, wisdom, or charisma-based checks and DCs. So you would lose 1 to all those, including will saving throws, spell attack rolls, and spell DCs and skill checks that use these ability scores. Anytime you attempt to cast a spell while stupefied, the spell is disrupted unless you succeed at a flat check with a DC equal to 5 plus your stupefied value. That's not terrible, but on that round, you just do something else, like use a crossbow.
Yeah, I'm also reading stuff here. Remember, we set one of my spells to be a focus point thing, but
yeah,
it says here that there are no spells attached to it, and I do use those focus points to beat my spells. That's what I wanted to find.
Okay, so then Telekinetic Wrench should be in your cantrips list instead?
Yep.
Okay, so then that should just be empty, right? From the sounds of it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right, so yeah, then you just have the focus pool, and from the sounds of it, you just make whatever cantrips better. Okay. Like I said, I'll also read through these over the next couple weeks so I know what's going on and get a little bit more familiar with the psychic.
Yeah, it's not letting me add it, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I think I got it. I'll think about name. I'll think about some backstory stuff, but yeah, I think we're getting close to done here.
All right, cool. I just want to double check your hit points and all that, make sure. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, all right, so base 6, you get 6 for being a psychic, plus your 1, so yeah, you have 13 hit points. It was so funny. Putting together Eric's Fury Barbarian, he ended up with 26 hit points at level 1. Like, good lord, this guy's going to be a brute. Yeah, he, let me see here. Let me pull up the orc real quick. And then he went with Battle Ready Orc, I believe? No. What was it? Let me grab the character sheet. No. Oh no, I can't see. No, yeah. Hold Scarred Orc. You are part of an orc community that participates in ritual scarifications. I was saying sacrifications. I go, man, sacrifications is a weird word. That was another word I butchered when I was building his new character. Basically, instead of 10 hit points, they get 12 hit points because of all the scarring and tattooing they do to themselves. And he also gained the Die Hard feat as well. So Grawler has a dying value of 5 rather than a 4 like everyone else has. All right, so are you done buying things?
The only issue I'm having is getting that telekinetic rend in as an innate spell. It wants it to be a focus spell.
All right, well then just throw it in the focus spell, since it won't let you put it anywhere else for some reason. All right, not a big deal. Yeah, and then the last thing, I guess, is...
I figured it out.
Oh, perfect. What was the problem?
It was spells are set to being focus or innate or whatever the other one is.
Okay.
So it was locked into focus. I just flipped it to innate, and then I was able to drag it over.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Yeah, the last thing is just how your character looks and what it'll be wearing. Hair Doctor is already jumping on making Hero Forge character icons for everyone. So if you want, go ahead and send him a message about how your character looks, and he'll slap something together for you, so we can make some more fun little 3D character tokens and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm pretty open. Just the only thing would be a brass dragon sort of look to the Kobold, like brassy scales.
Okay.
That'd be the only thing.
Okay, I'll let him know then. And then
Beauty.
That way you can create something new for it. All right, so anything else you want to chat quick about as we wrap up this podcast episode?
I don't think so. I'm looking forward to this, of course.
Oh, yeah, me too. I have been having a load of fun GMing with just how easy it is on the on Foundry. It blows my mind. I can't recommend it enough to people when I do the Monster vs. Monster stuff for 5e. It would be even better if I could do it possibly for Pathfinder, but I haven't gotten quite comfortable enough with Pathfinder to say like, oh yeah, let's throw monsters against each other and just, fuck around and find out kind of thing. All right then. If there's nothing else, I guess we can wrap this up, and we will get this character ready to go for the Abomination Vaults, which should be happening in another 2 to 3 sessions. So if everything goes according to plan, we might be starting Abominations Vault by end of May, beginning of June, it looks like. We'll see what happens. Go from there.
Yeah, and I think the reason it didn't... I'm just looking at my buying stuff. The reason that didn't go through is because I didn't have any silver or copper in my inventory, and it didn't want to change the gold.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. No big deal.
Yep. All right then. Well then, we shall close up this episode and this podcast episode here, and hopefully we'll have some more in the future. I might be interested if you guys are willing. I'm going to talk to you guys about it probably on the live stream, but maybe doing like mini podcast interviews or something to see kind of like what you're thinking of the game, how it's going so far. Just, some podcasty stuff, probably only run like maybe 30, 60 minutes or something. With you guys, like probably once a month from each of you. So, I would be chatting with you all once a week, but, you would be like you, then I would talk to Eric, and then Sean, and then Mike, and then come back around to you or something, whoever had time to chat, so I can do some more podcast episodes or something.
Of course, yeah, sounds like a great idea.
Cool. All right then. So yes, thanks so much for anyone that watched or potentially listened to this. It's a missing section of my YouTube channel there, and hopefully you enjoyed this little like pre-session 0 for the Abominations Vault. We will catch you guys hopefully on Tuesdays, where we're playing live and experiencing the fun all together. So yes, thanks you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks. Have a great night, everybody.